Today we're going to talk multiplying polynomials. So we're going to actually just get straight into our first example, where we're going to multiply two monomials. So our first example, and we're going to do probably two in each of them, in each of our examples today. Our first one, example 1a, we're going to multiply 5x squared by 4x to the third. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply any numbers we have. So we're going to go 5 times 4 and get a 20. Then we're going to multiply like variables. We're going to go x squared times x to the third, which we learned earlier that we have the same base. We're multiplying them, so we add the exponents. So we have x to the 2 plus 3 is 5. So our answer is going to be 20 x to the fifth. Let's look at one more. We'll call this 1b. We're going to take negative 3 x cubed y squared times 4x y to the fifth. So again, we're going to multiply our constants. Negative 3 times negative 4 makes negative 12. Then we're going to go in order. We've got our x's. X to the third times x. And there's secretly a little 1 there. So we're going to add the powers. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we've got x to the fourth. And then we do all that again with our y's. We're going to have y. 2 plus 5 is 7. So we're going to end up with negative 12 x to the 4, y to the 7. That's going to end that example. Let's look at another one, where in this example, we're going to multiply a polynomial by a monomial. So again, we're going to do two of these. In our first one, 2a, we're going to have 5 times 2x squared plus x plus 4. So in the case of multiplying a polynomial by a monomial, all we're going to do is use the distributive property, and we're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by what's on the outside. So we're going to go 2x squared times 5 plus 5 times x plus 5 times 4, and 5 times 2x squared is 10x squared. 5 times x is just going to give us 5x, and 5 times 4 is 20. So our answer is 10x squared plus 5x plus 20. Let's look at one more. We're going to take 2x squared y, and we're going to multiply it by 3x minus y. Now we're going to take everything on the outside of the parentheses. That's the entire thing, 2x squared y, and we're going to multiply it by 3x and by minus y. So we're going to write 2x squared y times 3x minus 2x squared y times y. Then we're just going to go 2 times 3, and we're going to get 6. X squared times x gives us x to the third, and then we just have to keep that y. Minus, there's no constants to multiply in that second part, so we just write 2. We've only got the x squared part, and then y times y is y squared. So 6x to the third y minus 2x squared y squared. Now, there's a process for multiplying two binomials. That process we call the FOIL method, where what we do is we multiply the first terms together, then we multiply the outside terms, then the inside terms, and the last terms. So let's look at an example of this FOILing method. We're going to keep this screen up. So this would be example 3. We're going to take x plus 2 and we're going to multiply it by x minus 5. So here in red, that is our f part of the FOIL method. We're going to go x times x. Plus, we take our outside terms here in blue. We go x times negative 5 plus our inside terms, 2 times x, and then we take our last terms, plus 2 times negative 5. Now we simplify everything. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 makes a minus 5x. 2 times x makes a plus 2x. And then 2 times negative 5 makes minus 10. Well, we can combine those middle terms, negative 5x plus 2x. Negative 5x plus 2x makes minus 3x. Then we're just going to bring everything else down. We've got our x squared minus 10. So that means x plus 2 times x minus 5 makes x squared minus 3x minus 10. Let's look at one more here in example 3. We are going to take the quantity x plus 5 and we're going to square it. So when we see something like this, we should automatically think to ourselves, we can rewrite this as x plus 5 times x plus 5. And then we can use our FOIL method. We're going to take our first terms, x times x, which is going to just make x squared. We can take our outside terms, x times 5. So we're going to get a plus 5x. Our inside terms, we're going to get another plus 5x. And then our last terms, 5 times 5 is 25. Now we can combine 5x and 5x to make 10x. And we bring everything else down. So our final answer is x squared plus 10x plus 25. Alright, we have one more example we're going to do, and we're going to look at two methods. So we'll do an example for each method. So this is example 4. We are going to multiply polynomials. So we're not just looking at binomials, we're also involving trinomials. So the first method, or the first example rather, we're going to look at is x plus 2 times x squared minus 5x plus 4. So the first method is we're going to take that first part of this binomial and we're going to distribute it to everything in the trinomial. And then we're going to take the second part and do the same thing. So let's start with the first part. X times x squared is going to give us an x cubed. In fact, let me write x times x squared. Plus we've got x times negative 5x plus x times 4. And then we can write our red stuff, plus 2 times x squared plus 2 times negative 5x plus 2 times 4. And then we can simplify everything. X times x squared is x cubed. X times negative 5x is minus 5x squared plus 4x plus 2x squared minus 10x plus 8. And then we can start looking at any like terms to combine. So first, we only have one x cubed term, so I want to just write that first. Then I've got a negative 5x squared and a plus 2x squared. Well, negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3x squared. And then we've got a plus 4 minus 10x is going to give us minus 6x. And then we just have this left over plus 8 we're going to bring down. So our answer is going to be x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8. I've said I've got one other method, so this is still example 4. But this is going to be 4b. And we're going to multiply 2x plus 3 by x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a table for ourselves, a box of sorts, if you will, where we're going to have 2 rows, and then we're going to have 3 columns. In fact, in a way, what we're doing is we're making our own multiplication table, where our rows are going to be the binomial 2x plus 3, and then our columns will be represented by x squared minus 6x plus 5. And then we're just going to multiply. We're going to go 2x times x squared. Well, 2x times x squared is going to give us 2x cubed. Then we're going to go 2x times negative 6x, which is going to give us minus 12x squared. And then 2x times 5 will give us plus 10x. Then we're going to do our next row. We're going to go 3 times x squared, so we're going to get 3x squared. And then we're going to go 3 times negative 6 and get a negative 18x. And then 3 times 5, and we're going to get a positive 15. Now, we're going to look at these rows and combine any like terms we have. So we've got 2x to the power of 3. So that's the first thing we're going to write. 2x to the power of 3. And then we've got 2 terms that have an x squared. So negative 12x squared and 3x squared will combine to make a minus 9x squared. And then we're going to look at the terms we have with x's. We've got a plus 10x and a minus 18x. So that's going to make a minus 8x. And then lastly, we have this plus 15. So our answer is going to be 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 8x plus 15. And that's going to wrap up our lesson on multiplying polynomials.